Hi there, Rick here. I wanted to talk about Tupperware, okay, the company, okay. Um, a few months ago, I noticed the stock rallying, okay. Um, and after researching the company, wow, a little bit more, this morning, okay. I noticed that um the company, okay, was about $700 million in debt. Now, I was gonna say, okay, if you were a lender of credit, okay? Like if you knew that, okay, a company was $100 million in debt, or even like, it's going up 200, 300, 400, 500, right? Um, why would you lend a company more money knowing that the company is struggling, okay? Because um these companies come out with quarterly reports, right? And you can see it, okay, in their quarterly reports. Yeah, they have, this much money to pay off, right? So I just don't understand, you know, a company that's $700 million in debt. Why would you lend a company more money knowing that, they're just going more and more debt, okay? Um, I did hear some news, okay. Um, actually, the stock rallied pretty good. Okay, I think it went all the way up to like $7, and then it started to was it decline, right? But I can't remember if I traded it or not. Okay, that day, but I was just hearing bits of the story, right? I can't remember if I heard it on the radio or just read it on the internet, right? But it the company filed for bankruptcy, okay. I know that they moved to Mexico, and they have a new stock symbol now. It's tupbq, okay. So I think it was bought out by somebody else, okay. They're restructuring the company now, right? um they're in Mexico, okay. Their factories in Mexico, probably just because, well, the labor's cheaper, right? So they're going to move to Mexico, right? um but they're in United States for a very long time. And this video that I'm watching, it's called Tupperware Files for Bankruptcy. This lady was saying that, okay, her mother was one of the very first ladies to uh, kind of like host Tupperware parties. Okay, a bunch of ladies would get together. Okay, and okay, this was their marketing strategy. Okay, they would host Tupperware parties. Okay, they would go over to people's homes or host it in their own home, invite people over. Okay, and say, this container is, it does this, and you can hold this in it, right? So it's kind of like a promo thing, right? Um, and there's it's interesting just because what is it? Everybody there was a lot of people that used that term. This is not a Tupperware party, or let's host a Tupperware party, right? Because it was so famous, right? Um, but it just um, also too, I think they didn't really do a whole lot of advertising too. Okay, like, and then, okay, because they felt that, okay, Tupperware was kind of like a household name, right? Everybody knew about it, even if it didn't have the Tupperware brand stamped on it. If somebody handed you a plastic container, they would say, automatically say Tupperware, right? And so it is, what is it? It's a very interesting history going behind Tupperware, because I think it goes Tupperware has been around for a very long time. I think the 40s or early 50s. Okay, um, it goes back all the way when we didn't have refrigerators. Okay, and people were looking at ways to keep their food fresher for longer. Okay, and that's when Tupperware appeared. A man by the name of such and such Tupper. Okay, He invented Tupperware, okay? And, I'm sure he got very wealthy from it too. Just because, look at how many, families there were in the United States. And, if they're buying, his products, just imagine how much he made, right? Um, so, Tupperware is, I see a lot of uses for it too, right? Because, I even use it too. I use these plastic containers where, yeah, I would stick it in the microwave and, microwave my lunch, right? Because, they de- they design these Tupperware containers to be able to microwavable, right? So they're always, innovating them, right? Improving them, right? The technology, okay? Um, and that's the way with a lot of things, okay? If you don't continue to innovate, okay, a lot of businesses, okay, they just kind of like lose market share, and they just kind of like their business kind of like goes, yeah, I would say downhill, right? Um but there's different ways to market your product, okay? And you see, okay, this one lady, okay, how they were marketing their Tupperware. Bunch of ladies in the United States would get together and host Tupperware parties. Yeah, so it's quite an interesting uh, marketing way, okay, that they were using, okay. Um, So, I think I remember looking at their stock is very cheap. I think it's only like maybe 1 or 2 cents. Okay. Um, and I was thinking about, you know, um, investing in it. Okay. Um, because, look at, there is a big demand for Tupperware, right? But also too, okay, because they claimed bankruptcy, okay, it was a way for them to get out of their debt, okay, and then be able to restructure the entire company again and start with almost no debt. And they were trying to find kind of like backers for the company to invest in it, okay, because they need the capital of investors, right? So they're looking at maybe some large hedge funds or just financial backers, right? Um, to help the company out, right? And I think well, I know that they did get two backers, okay, and I don't think it would be difficult just because, okay, Tupperware was kind of like a household name, okay, and uh, they had a good track record before, okay. They knew how to run a very uh, a very good business, okay. Um, still, okay. A lot of their items is sold online. You could probably buy it on Amazon, right? Um, but United States, even though they moved the company to Mexico, United States would still be very friendly to them, okay, to was it maybe um not charge them that much of a tariff uh to export their product back into the United States. And they did. They said they would target North America. They would also target Southeast Asia, right, for their market, right? So there is a lot of potential there. Okay. Um, but another thing too, they have to be what is it? They have to have competitive pricing, okay, to their competitors. Otherwise, people won't buy their products, right? You still have to be competitive in terms of um, marketing your product, okay? Because if you sell your product 4 times what everybody else is selling for, who's going to buy your product, right? Or if you sell it 6 times, okay? It's just like when it comes down to it, okay? It comes down to price, okay? And I would say second would be quality, okay? Because maybe the quality is not there, okay? The Tupperware is breaking down after a few months, okay? And then people that bought it said, this is Tupperware is a lousy brand. I'm going to switch over to a different brand. So quality is important too, okay? Because I even seen it at Costco, okay? There was a blender. I think it was like $600, okay? Um, and they were just. I was talking to the sales rep, and the sales rep was saying that, okay, our blenders have been around for this long, okay, just a very long time, and it's made from better parts, okay, that lasts a lot longer. We have a very long warranty on our product as well too, okay. So I see their product on the shelf, right? But I thought to myself it was just way overvalued in terms of price, because they were selling it. You could get a blender for sometimes what, $60, and they're trying to sell theirs for 600. So what is that? 600. Maybe about 1,000% more, maybe even 1,200% more. Okay, so that's quite a bit, and I think that people are just a lot of people are just not going to buy it. Okay, because do you want a $600 blender sitting in your kitchen, right? Just better to buy a what, like a $60 blender, and if you get 2 years out of it, or even 3 years, if it breaks, yeah, no big deal. Just buy another one, right? There probably was it more features maybe on the new one, or the new one will be a better quality compared to your one that was 3 years old. Okay. Um, I see that with, okay, the dash cam that I have. Okay. I think my dash cam's about 6 years old, the model. Okay. But recently I bought a new one. Okay. And the new one is it's better picture quality. Okay. Probably better sound quality. It also came with a rear camera as well. Okay. My old one, okay, doesn't even have a rear camera. The viewing angle, I think it was 125 degrees. Okay. This one is actually less than that, maybe only about 100 degrees, or 110. This one is 150 degrees. So it just sees a lot wider. It sees more of the road, right? Um, it sees more, yeah, it sees more around you, okay, because it has a 150-degree angle now, right? So I'll probably have a look at the stock, right? um because I still think that Tupperware will bounce back, okay, because they wiped out all their debt, okay, and they restructured their entire company, right? um so it probably has new management, right, new executives. um you got new workers on the line. um it's probably the same machinery, okay, because you have to remember they moved the machinery from the United States to Mexico now, right? Probably still cost a lot of money to do that, move all the machinery, because I could see that their warehouse was quite big, right? I don't know how much machinery that they use, but you know if you need a big warehouse to manufacture your product, um, you're going to still need a big warehouse in Mexico, right? Um, I don't know how much less money they're paying the people in Mexico, okay? But I wouldn't be surprised that in Mexico, the wages are maybe 4 times less, maybe even 8 times less than what they're paying the people in the United States for doing the same work, right? Um, so yeah, I'll probably check out the stock, and yeah, I think it does have a chance to make a rebound, and you know just um, do well in the markets again.